Nice to have you aboard on a Friday afternoon, the first day of June 2018. As we talked about what's going on as far as the world of sports is concerned, nice to have you with us here on the great SiriusXM 82. A lot to do today on the eve of the Foul reunion this weekend, of course, at their establishment in Lower Manhattan. Good job by, no, I shouldn't say Lower Manhattan, on their establishment right off 8th Avenue. We'll get to that with Steve Torrey a little bit later on. Eddie Erickson's in the house today. Our good buddy is Colin Schmeling, 888 Mad Dog 6, your two-way sports talk telephone number. That is your two-way, and you know where we are here on a busy afternoon. Obviously, plenty of NBA, all the game, and that should carry us. We'll try to get Steve Javi on a little later on. We'll try to get a little breakdown on the officiating and get into what was really a surprisingly riveting first game of this of the NBA final. I'll take a little different approach just to get us put a little different topic on the table. These are layups here, killing everybody that you want to kill. But let's take a little different approach, and let's start with the Warriors, and then I'll take a break, and then I get into the meat of the game. You know, Golden State has done an atrocious job in this postseason. I mean, they've been sloppy, disinterested, a little too arrogant for their own good. I mean, poorly coached, just really a variety of ailments. And the fact that they allowed Cleveland, don't let me hear the idea that Kurt tried to tell us last night that the whole world knows how good the Cavaliers are, and there's no way that this was going to be as an easy a series as everybody in the NBA predicted. And that's a bunch of garbage, Steve. I mean, come on now. Every coach in the world who comes on here has told us the same thing. Van Gundy couldn't figure out how Cleveland was going to win a game. PJ told the Tory crew with Cannell the same exact thing. I could get you 9 million coaches from every walk of life who, if Golden State tries and applies themselves, will not be threatened in this series and will win, if not in a sweep, in a very easy 5 games. I mean, they do have Durant. They do have Thompson, they do have Curry, they do have Green, they do have, forget Iguodala. I mean, they got enough talent here to last a lifetime. They got a home court. They have shown you some resolve in a couple of spots against Houston in the 6 and 7, especially down 11 at halftime in the 7th game at the Toyota Center. And you would think that the Warriors, perfect situation with rest, 2 days off, home court, would not fought around and would take the Cavaliers to the woodshed last night and not be involved in a white knuckler with 5 minutes to go in a game with a team that starts Tristan Thompson, J.R. Smith, and George Hill. I mean, I don't care how good LeBron is, and by golly, he's phenomenal. But, I mean, you would think that Golden State would go out there and say, you know what, we were fortunate to get out of this series against the Rockets. Let's not mess around and give the Cavaliers with that player any kind of life. Let's go out there and let's put them to bed, and let's put them to bed early. And outside of a flurry, which started the overtime last night, they did not do that for 48 minutes. They did not do it at the start of the third quarter, and you would think that Steve Kerr traded for Bill Russell for Ed McCauley and Cliff Hagan because he started McGee in the second half and played him 6 minutes. Oh, relax, please. They did not do anything in that third quarter as they had done in the previous rounds in moments against the Rockets, specifically in games 6 and 7. They got off to they let Cleveland score 30 points in the first half. They let Cleveland be at the half tied thanks to a Curry heave. I mean, they blew a 6-point lead with 3 or 4 minutes left with a chance. Let me give you the exact time on that. When they made those back-to-back threes in a situation where they looked to be in very, very good shape. That was, let's give you the exact time when they made those 2 threes. Obviously, Eddie now is giving me all sorts of weird. I don't have the play-by-play. Only of the last 5 minutes. I don't think in the last 5 minutes they had the 6-point lead. Look specifically, they had a... Yes, they did. Curry hit his second. Green hit one, surprisingly, and then Curry hit one with 4:39 to go up 6, 100-94. They couldn't put the Cavaliers away then. I mean, really, really puzzling that Golden State, Durant's not played that well. And let's face it, I look silly because I said earlier on in this postseason that it looked to be now much more of a Durant team than a Curry team. And ever since I've said that, that Curry's played great. He played very well in Game 7, and he had a tremendous game last night. He played as good a game as you're going to play. Curry did 29 points. He made 5 threes. He had 6 rebounds, 9 assists. He played 47 minutes. I mean, he played a hell of a game last night, and Durant did absolutely the quietest 26 points in the history of the NBA Finals. So, from that perspective, I'm very worried about Golden State right now. And even though the theme of the day on talk radio across the nation, talk TV and talk radio, has been, well, that was the Cavaliers' chance. That was their opportunity to make it a series. They really had an opportunity there to put the Golden State team back on its heels. We really would have had a lot of juice. I mean, I'm not so sure if we still won't. Because right now, I don't know if Golden State's capable of polishing anybody off easily. I mean, they let the Pelicans hang around a little bit. They let the Spurs hang around the last 2 games without, of course, Leonard. They let Houston get their wind under their sails, and if Paul didn't get hurt, they may have lost. I mean, it's not all about Iguodala, for crying out loud. Golden State hasn't played well. I mean, they just look a little disinterested. You know what Golden State looks like? They look like an arrogant team that just knows that when they got to turn on a lever, it's going to be there, and they're going to win the game going away. Now, they were lucky that lever occurred last night in the overtime, because it didn't occur for the first 48 minutes, where they played a good, crisp, clean game. I mean, the Cavaliers, they made, if you're looking from a Cavaliers standpoint of where they are, I mean, they shot 44%, 27% from 3. Some of that probably was, downgraded because of their bad overtime. They did not play well. They did have 53 rebounds and 19 offensively. A lot of that is effort. They out-rebounded the Warriors by 15, and they killed them off the offensive glass also by 15. I didn't like what I saw. I did not like what I saw out of Golden State as far as their performance level is concerned. And I am not so sure that this series is going to now have a lack of life based on the fact that Cleveland let their opportunity slip away. Everywhere I have turned today, hallway, radio, TV, workout room, they've all said the same thing. Again, Cavs chance. The Warriors now are going to wake up, and they're going to bury them the next 3 games. Well, why didn't they bury Houston when they had a chance after Game 3? Why didn't they put away San Antonio the last 2 games? Why didn't they go to New Orleans in Game 3 and do the number on them? They know LeBron's on the other team. They know he's dangerous. Why didn't they come out last night and not give LeBron any opportunity to get the idea that he can win the game? And why, if that's the case, you want to give him a half to get their feet under him, why in the 3rd quarter didn't they come out there and bury him? Why didn't they say to themselves, you know what, geez, enough of them hanging around? After they made the 2 threes, 100-94, why did they let the Cavaliers come back there and really should have won the game? It wasn't until that 4 or 5 minute overtime where you basically could have peeled the Cavaliers off the ground flat as a pancake that Golden State finally woke up and did something. I tell you, for a team that's got 3 Hall of Famers on it, I have been very unimpressed. We'll start there. More to do. Mad Dog Unleashed.